This is not a message of happiness or reassurance, but it is the truth, and it is a warning. I want to talk to you right now about a fundamental threat to American democracy. The threat is nearly invisible. It is a crisis that strikes at the very heart and soul and spirit of our national will. It is a crisis of confidence. We can see this crisis in the growing doubt about the meaning of our own lives and in the loss of a unity of purpose for our nation. Too many of us now tend to worship self-indulgence and consumption. Human identity is no longer defined by what one does, but by what one owns. But we've discovered that owning things and consuming things does not satisfy our longing for meaning. We've learned that piling up material goods cannot fill the emptiness of lives which have no confidence or purpose. Our people have turned to the federal government and found it isolated from the mainstream of our nation's life. Washington, D.C. has become an island. The gap between our citizens and our government has never been so wide. What you see too often in Washington and elsewhere around the country is a system of government that seems incapable of action. You see a Congress twisted and pulled in every direction by hundreds of well-financed and powerful special interests. You see every extreme position defended to the last vote, almost to the last breath, by one unyielding group or another. You often see a balanced and a fair approach that demands sacrifice, a little sacrifice from everyone, abandoned like an orphan, without support and without friends. You don't like it, and neither do I. What can we do? First of all, we must face the truth. We are at a turning point in our history. There are two paths to choose. One is the path I've warned about tonight, the path that leads to fragmentation and self-interest. Down that road lies a mistaken idea of freedom, the right to grasp for ourselves some advantage over others. That path would be one of constant conflict between narrow interest, ending in chaos and immobility. It is a certain route to failure. All the traditions of our past, all the lessons of our heritage, all the promises of our future point to another path, the path of common purpose. That path leads to true freedom for our nation and ourselves. We can take the first steps down that path. I do not promise you that this struggle will be easy. I do not promise a quick way out of our nation's problems, when the truth is that the only way out is an all-out effort. These changes did not happen overnight. They've come upon us gradually over the last generation. Years that were filled with shocks and tragedy. Little by little, we can and we must rebuild our confidence. I will do my best, but I will not do it alone. Let your voice be heard, and for the sake of our nation, It is time for us to join hands. Let us commit ourselves together to a rebirth of the American spirit. Working together, we cannot fail. Thank you and good night.